Seriously, when you said that right now, I was like, what? Yeah, take notes, Robert.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Film Hustlers. I want to thank people for tuning in week after week and listening to our ridiculous rants about the business. But you know what? I think we're better than producer Patrick.
Patrick. I like producer Patrick, but I think we bring more personality.
I was surprised at what we started talking about 8 weeks ago and what we're talking about now. It's changing so fast.
Well, it's like our business. It's fluid. Like some days are good, some days are bad. Sometimes you make hits like Beautiful Darkness, and sometimes you make,
By the way, congratulations.
Jersey. Here
You're going to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's win something.
Yeah.
How many festivals is that?
That is 10 festivals.
Jeez,
that's 3 semifinalists.
Mm-hmm.
1 victory.
Yep.
So
1 win.
Yeah. So we got 11 laurels on our posters now, guys. That's a poster.
Well,
not bad.
Today we're going to be talking about something really special. When I thought about interviewing Dr. Tina Vartanian, what she's doing at LACHSA, which is a School for Performing Arts.
Yeah.
It's been around since 1985, but I'd like to welcome Dr. Tina Vartanian to our show.
Yeah. Doctor.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
What a pleasure to have you.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing this.
I've heard so much about this school even before, like I've heard about this school for years. Are you kind of like the Juilliard of the West Coast?
Well, yes,
but better,
I would say.
right?
I'd say much better.
That's what I heard.
So actually, we are the #1 public arts high school in the nation. So I'm really proud of that. And this is our 40th year, and it is, Los Angeles County High School for the Arts.
Yeah.
We've been around for 40 years now, and we're celebrating that. We're on Cal State LA campus.
Yeah, my wife went to Cal State. She got a degree in biochemistry.
Oh, wonderful.
Graduated with honors.
Congratulations. Yeah. We have our own standalone building there, and it actually started in the library at Cal State LA, but we have our standalone building, and then they take classes in that building.
It's stunning. You would be jealous at the amount of camera and lighting equipment that they have in this place.
Oh,
it's amazing. I have been to the campus there. It's pretty remarkable.
Stearns' daughter goes there.
Jeff Stearns' daughter goes there. So what's the acceptance rate? Like 7% or something?
Yeah, it's real. Yeah,
Super competitive.
It is, and so one of the things that we're doing is that we're starting now recruiting for next year. So I think it's October 1st, our applications go out. So just outreach, and we're doing a lot of things because I want more kids from the community, like from the Cal State area, some of just our local kids to get the opportunity to come to LACHSA. So
can I go?
Yeah, please. I remember Ann said that. She says, I want to come
back?
here.
And my wife wanted to go back too.
Yeah.
But
like
it's
Rodney Dangerfield.
and going back to school. But the reason I found it really important to have you on the show is because I was thinking about how different times are now. LACHSA started in the 80s. And it was a different time, right? I mean, you were making movies or you were doing TV series. There wasn't a whole lot of things going on, right? You just either did this or you did that. And now it's like breaking open like crazy. Like you're able to. We've been talking about mobisodes. We've been talking about YouTube. We've been talking about streamers. They're not shooting on film anymore. I don't know if Broadway's changed. For a minute there, even Broadway seemed like it wasn't going to make it. That seems to have recovered too. Like, does it change what you do curriculum-wise for kids because of what's happening in the world of entertainment?
Yes, it does. And so that's why it's really unique. So we're a comprehensive, just regular high school in the morning from 8:30 to like 12:45.
So that's like English,
like regular,
math,
yes,
stuff
and
like
you have to because you're going to graduate with a diploma. But the school day is a long day. So at 1:30, it just transforms into a conservatory. So whether it's dance, visual arts, music, vocal, jazz, theater, dance, cinematic arts. What did I leave out? But whatever the art is, it turns into a conservatory at that time. And so it's really quite magical. And I know you got to see some of it, but you might have someone, in the office for doing something, silly in their algebra class or whatever, but that same student's going to be maybe singing tonight at the Hollywood Bowl. So, I mean, that's actually happening tonight. One of our graduates, our alumni, Josh Groban, is performing tonight, and the jazz ensemble is singing with them.
You dropped something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't take
okay,
anything.
So, okay.
Doctor, don't take anything he says serious. Write him a bad prescription.
Oh my gosh, yeah, sorry.
By the way,
great.
Josh Groban is an amazing singer. Josh Groban does his version of "Oh Holy Night" that's like show-stopping, and he went to LACHSA, but so did Fergie.
Yeah.
And
Robert Vargas, who's really
Robert
making
Vargas,
a difference
yeah.
in this world right now. It's just amazing to go see him.
A lot of actors and professionals come to LACHSA to speak and to perform. You had Al Pacino did a show with your students.
With our students, and so that's what's really so beautiful. Not just our alum, but artists do want to give back. On PBS, SoCal, Art Happens Here was John Lithgow, and those are our kids. And so it was different arts schools and different arts, but the vocal part was the LACHSA kids. And he came, worked with the kids, and it's just really beautiful. I want to answer your first question, like, do we change, or how does the curriculum change? So we have, as I said, we have our regular comprehensive high school, but we have arts chair people. So we hire the one person to chair each of the disciplines in arts. And what they do in their department is they hire the professionals who are working in the field. So you're going to have someone in our songwriting class who is out there making music, working with our kids.
That's amazing.
The person, who is, teaching an instrument is out performing their own gigs in the evening. So you're getting the professionals yourself. Like, man, I would love for you to come teach a class. There's, and I had mentioned
Listen
that.
carefully, fellas.
Yes.
Take it easy, take it easy.
I teach a class here every week.
Doctor, so my wife teaches something similar. My kids are homeschooled, but she teaches at an enrichment program called Threefold Village out in Sunland. And it's a Waldorf inspired, but it's really geared towards, like, it's kind of similar. It's geared towards the arts. Like, they put on, the woman who created it, her name's Camille, she's a Juilliard graduate. They put on some of these amazing productions. In fact, they had this guy over here come and speak one time.
That's right, I spoke there.
Yeah, but it's kind of similar, but it starts K to 8.
And that's where it really needs to start. I'd love to see all the schools in LA County have music and arts when they're little. My dream is one day to have open for 5-year-olds and have put everybody on violin or piano, and then the next year, because you're building and we were just talking about this, the myelin matter. You're building all of this when they're young, and then you're creating. Like, a lot of our graduates, some of them, they're doing other things. Yeah. Yes, they always have their art is their passion, but you're going to have scientists, and you're going to have people, like we have people going to Yale, to Harvard, but also conservatories.
When they leave there, they're all good kids. Yeah. They're all well-rounded, but arts is really like the backbone of it. Now that we're saying it, that when they graduate in 8th grade, there's a handful of schools that they kind of like everybody wants to go to. That's one of them, obviously.
And I did bring promotional material, some cards, so you could take those.
Okay. Yeah.
Graders.
But it's interesting going back, because I know that a lot of people in the industry think about putting their kids into schools like LACHSA. How does AI switch with? By the way, I'm a advocate for AI. I love AI. I think it's terrific.
Of course
I think
you do.
it's
You're a
amazing.
producer.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. But I also
want to cut us all out.
Is there going to come a time when school isn't necessary because you could just ask AI? I would imagine in some cases teachers are teaching and somebody's on their phone trying to figure out if the teacher's wrong or right, or teaching it differently or backwards or whatever, right? Is it possible? Is that a thing?
Well, it's funny. You have to be ahead of the game. So you have to learn how to use AI in your classroom, and that's kind of what we're working on. But actually, the arts were first, because I think it was 2 years ago when we were talking to kids about joining the cinematic arts program. It's like that was a sore subject at the time. It's like, we do have to teach this because that's where our world is going, and so keeping a little bit ahead really helps. I did want to mention it's free. It's free. It's no tuition.
LACHSA is free, no
it's
tuition.
Free. That's the beauty of it. And so we do have a foundation, so they raise money for the school, but the arts budget's about $5 million for the art, just for the arts. And so we run the regular school and then the arts school. So it's about a $14 million budget. We are part of the Los Angeles County Office of Education. So there's 2 specialized schools, and so that's why any kid from LA County can can come to our school.
So if Mark Roberts goes and teaches there, can we get funding for our next film?
The foundation will fund it. Yes.
Yes.
There's obviously like an application process, and
It's happening now. Last week we had a webinar of just talking about the school for kids that are in 8th grade, and then we do that maybe 3 or 4 times before October, actually. And then we have, we want to bring people in to see the school, and then they fill out the application, and then they audition. The auditions are usually over by right after, like maybe by the end of January, and so by March, the students know if they're accepted for next year. And sometimes it's a wait list, and sometimes it's, they get in right away. But
What if
they
you're
do
a
have to.
comedian and you want to audition?
a comedian
You know what?
podcaster.
Yeah.
If you're a comedian, then you would audition for the theater program.
Theater program. Okay. So it's anything's possible.
Yeah, and it's potential. So all of our adjudicators, it's about potential.
What really hits me is that when I think about being in entertainment and being a producer, and a lot of the people that I know and work with, because we're all sort of misfit toys, and we're all kids that grew up dreaming and hoping for a better life. Where'd you grow up, David?
L.A.
Yeah, what part of LA?
LA. What part of LA?
Compton.
David, Paramount, Compton. Myself, East Los Angeles. Yourself, East Los
Monterey
Angeles,
Park,
Monterey
yeah.
Park.
That's East LA. Fool.
It is.
So you East Los Angeles, and it's amazing because I think we need opportunities too, And it's funny because when I didn't go to college traditionally, I got into the business immediately. I graduated in 1983, and I was on Three Amigos in 1986, right, as an assistant or whatever. And then right when I was about 27, I said, I want to go to school. And I remember thinking, I feel like filmmaking is my destiny, so I'm going to apply to the American Film Institute. Now, the funny part is that I applied.
And you got it.
And they interviewed me, and they let me in.
Yeah, that is the funny part.
Why
That's
is
the
that
crazy
funny?
part.
You're like,
Because
wait,
I had
wait
no...
a minute, I'm in?
I had no formal education to be going into a graduate program, but that's not how they measured it, right? I was going in with people that went to Harvard, who had BAs from like Boston University, and me had 0, and they were like, "Yeah, you're in."
And I could
come up.
picture you be like, wait, are you
serious?
serious?
I'm going to go to school with all these people.
Are you serious?
But having said that, I think that when you're underprivileged, the way I was, and my dad died when I was 6, you had a tendency to want to be anywhere but where you were. And that makes you very qualified to be in show business, to create stories, to dream about somewhere other than where you're at. And I think that that's a powerful thing. So when you think about teenagers going to school and kids really accessing their music and their creativity to potentially have a career at it, it's really neat that they have a place like LACHSA to go. The fact that you are actively allowing kids that potentially couldn't go to the school for financial reasons is so awesome. It's so awesome.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And when you're a 9th grader coming in, and we have a couple 10th graders who transfer in, but when you're all the same. You have to take the same basics, and so it's humbling, I think, to some kids, but it's also it's just really exciting for them to be in a place where kids think like you, and like every day is an adventure at the school because every kid is a creative kid.
Yeah.
My background's in music, and so it's fun to be around kids that think like me, and I'm a lot older than they are, but when I'm around them, I'm 15, like I am with you.
Hey, I wanted to take a minute out of the show to talk about extrememusic.com. Extrememusic.com is one of the absolute most wonderful tools you will ever have as a producer. I use it on every movie I do. In fact, I'm doing a Christmas movie right now, and I am using extrememusic.com as a tool to find needle drops, to find music for various scenes. I'm using it to find all types of music for my movie. I love it because it gives you a variation of the same song. It gives you lots of choices. So I got to say, Russ Emanuel and the whole team over at extrememusic.com are doing a great job. Not only are they our partner and our sponsor, but I as a producer and many of the people that come on this show also use extrememusic.com. So maybe you should too. extrememusic.com for all your music needs. How did you get your start? I mean, you are the principal of a very, very successful school, the number one public school in the nation for performing arts. How did you become the principal of that school?
It's kind of a long story.
Well,
I'll give you the little cliff notes.
Wait, I got it?
Wait, I got in?
Yeah, right. I got in. I was one of the kids that when I was in high school, we went to high school together. I'm sure you have some stories on that.
We went to high school together. I'll tell a story in a minute.
And so my family, it was like they said, well, you have to do this. It was either UCLA for theater or USC for music. And of course, I was smart and I chose USC for music. But anyway, I went in right away as a music major. But then I fell in love with teaching. And I thought, oh, I love teaching music because it's really exciting to be the first person, like when someone opens a case, and I loved it. And then I taught middle school, which I adored. I taught that for 18 years. And then during that time, I wanted to be better at it. So I finished my degree, my master's degree. And then I thought I wanted to be even better at it. And I want to see how the brain works. And so that's when I did my doctorate. And when I did my doctorate, I fell in love with music prenatal to 5, and so like how the brain works and how you're that's our slogan. And I don't want to be corny here, but you're born to create. Every kid's born to create. So
yeah, right.
so after that, I decided to move into administration, but as in arts administration. So. I was the coordinator for I don't know if I should say the name, but I was a coordinator for one of our public schools in the arts. And then I came to LACO, which is where I work now, because LACHSA is one of our schools. And so at LACO, I was brought in as the arts coordinator, and I worked for the juvenile halls and camps. So for the kids who were and I fell in love with bringing art to those kids, because if these are in my mind, they're all innocent kids that are locked up, but they need the arts too, because these are some of the most creative kids. So I had to get my admin credential to oversee one of the schools, which was a residential treatment center. I fell in love with it. And so from there, they said, well, wait a minute, Tina was the arts coordinator, but she's now turning this school into like more of an arts magnet. LACHSA has an opening for an assistant principal. So that's how I went to LACHSA. And then 3 or 4 years later, the principal opening happened, and that's how I am the principal now.
That's an incredible story.
That's so long.
A great journey.
Can you edit that?
From East Los Angeles to SC to the number one creative arts school in the nation.
That is a remarkable. It is a remarkable, beautiful journey. Like how you got there. And by the way, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. I mean, there's not that many performing arts high schools in the United States. So the idea that you are the principal of one of them is pretty remarkable. So congratulations.
Thank you. I actually teach a conducting class, which I love, and then I with the students, and I play the flute. But I'll be retiring soon. But it's just to start my life, and it's just to play.
When you said your age, I'm not going to say it. I thought, because you said your age, and I understood that. But when you said your age, I was like, wait a minute, are you pulling my leg? Because you look great for your age.
Well, thanks, thank you. And coming from, now that I know that your expertise, that means a lot to me.
In addition to your awesome journey, musically, what did you start playing and at what age?
Well, piano at 2, actually, because my dad would always sing, and he, oh my gosh, he tried everything. And so, I mean, we're Armenian, and so of course out comes the oud and the dumbag, which is a little drum. Mm-hmm. And so we always had music in the house. And then at I think I was 2 when my mom got the piano, and that was a safe space for me. I would sit under the piano and play with the dolls and things, and I just was fascinated by it. And I think that, so it was never a scary thing for me. I loved it. So I started with piano, and then when I was in middle school, I wanted to be like my cousin, who was, at that time, he was a real hippie, and so I loved him. And so he played the flute. I had these pictures of him playing the flute in the fields and everything. I said, I want to be like that. And so that's how I started that. I kept with that, and that's part of my degrees. And
that's amazing.
I loved it.
Well, I'm going to tell a little story, because Tina and I did go to high school together. We went to Sure High, which is the #1 school in the nation for performing arts.
What did Kim call it?
No, he didn't call. He called Montebello High School the Harvard of East LA. We were up on the hill. But what's remarkable about Schur High School is that it had an amazing performing arts department, right? It had choir. It had an amazing band department. So the arts part was really popping, right, when we were there. Tina was in band. I was in choir. I was in the shows. I was in football. I kind of did it all. But what was really interesting is that one year there was an honor band and an honor choir. District honor, right? So they picked the best singers and the best band from all the schools and put them in one band and in one choir, and they all performed at this, at this one place. I forgot what place it was. But so we all got the day off and we all went to go there and to rehearse, right? So I know Tina's like a straight A student. I'm like a flunky. And we're at this thing together, and she's like, I don't know if you know anything about music, but when you play in a band, there's like flute 1, seat 1, right? Is that what they call them? Yeah. And then 2 and 3, right? And she was 1. And I guess when they went to rehearse, the flute that was playing with her next to her, seat 2, wasn't there yet. So she looks at me and she goes, "Hey, do you wanna borrow a flute and pretend to play?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'll get in so much trouble." Like David LeBeau's out there, our teacher, and I don't know. She's like, "Come on, who cares? Like, it's just go out there. It'll be a lot of fun." So she gives me a flute. When I move my fingers, you move. When I put the thing down, you put it down. I said, "Fine." So,
I can only see this happening.
So I go out there, I sit down, and the conductor is our high school band conductor, and I'm thinking he's going to recognize me. I'm going to get kicked out of here. So he doesn't, and he just starts to conduct, and I start to pretend to play, and I got through the entire rehearsal, and I put the thing down, and we're just dying laughing the whole time. We're just like, like someone said,
really
"Don't laugh in
into
church."
It. I mean,
I was really playing.
Yeah.
Wait, were you playing or were you just pretending?
No, I was pretending to play. I don't know how to play the flute.
Breathing, like when I would breathe, he would breathe.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah,
but
fun.
I was expecting to get in a lot of trouble, and when I went down, all my teachers just were dying, like on the floor, laughing that I did that.
They were watching.
Yeah, because they were watching.
Did you do your thing?
I bowed. I did. It was like Chris Farley up there. It was ridiculous, but it was so much fun.
Imposter.
And that was the exactly, and that was the fun of our high school, right? Because Tina and I were in the shows. She did band. We did choir together. We did all of this creative stuff, and it's kind of fun that you grew up to be the principal of a
school
like that, and I grew up to be a producer somehow. I think at the end of the day, what's the most important thing is that there's schools that kids can go, and it's like Fame, like the movie Fame.
Well, that's what it was modeled after.
Is that true?
Yes.
Dude, did you guys ever see Fame?
Yeah, of course.
Like when you watch Fame, didn't you want to go to that school?
Remember my name?
Yeah. You just want to be at lunch and start breaking out in a song and like dancing and like nothing else matters.
Wear leg warmers.
Yeah.
Well, come on by.
Come on by. Hey, you did it once on the choir.
Every day is an adventure.
I was invited to LACHSA to observe the 64-hour film festival that they have, which every student in the film department gets to be a part of.
It's going on now. Today is the kickoff, and they have 64 hours to write.
Oh, that's awesome.
How many movies do they get to? How many movies are made?
Oh, my gosh. It's like sometimes 12, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Last year they give them like, you have to use this shoe, you have to use this pot, you have to use this book. And every movie has to incorporate those things into their movie, no matter what the movie is, horror, whatever it is. So I went to the kickoff, I went to the actual festival, and it was amazing, right? Because the LACHSA's theater is an outside amphitheater, and it's beautiful, and the inside, they have an inside theater, which is beautiful. But what I was really impressed by is the level that the kids were directing and writing at. They were it was very impressive. I was like, wow, these guys are all very, very talented. And the fact that they got to do that and that was their school is remarkable. All these teachers are in the business somewhere, and they're like cheering the kids on, and they're cheering, and they pick their teams of actors, and you're going to film it, and you're going to do the lighting, and you're going to write it. And it was just super impressive. I think like a lot of people that listen to the show are going to find this fascinating, and potentially, you know, a lot of us have kids that could go to a great school like this and really exercise that muscle of being creative. And I think there's something to it. I think there should be a lot more creative stuff happening in schools, because I think it would make a big difference.
It does. Yes.
So it really, and we have like everything. We have piano recitals, we have art shows, we have everything. So please, you know, go on the website. Yeah, my plug, LACHSA.net, and you will see that we have a calendar that is absolutely
Spell
full.
out LACHSA.net, because I'm saying LACHSA, and
Yeah, I don't
that
know
would
what you're
that would
saying.
help
Make it
people
up.
better.
LACHSA.
One more time.
LACHSA.net.
.net.
LACHSA.net, and you will find all of this on there. We have a space where you can see some of the shows,
Oh,
or
awesome.
like the films that you were talking about.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
But let's not
The
forget,
vault.
Al Pacino did Macbeth with the students
Yeah.
there. Josh Groban went there.
Fergie.
Fergie went there. I guess it doesn't matter that much, except for, you know, sometimes you can go to performing arts school and not go into the performing arts, right? It just gives you exercise the entertainment part of you, the creative part of you, and you decide to become a lawyer or a doctor or
Right,
something,
right.
right? It happens. I think the sooner you start, the better too. You know, had there been outlets like that for a lot of us, I mean, who knows where you'd be, Tootie? Wait, do you do composers?
Yeah.
You do?
Well, yeah, we have composition classes. We have songwriting classes, commercial music. So
Wait a
that's
minute.
new, because that's what we need to do
Yeah.
now. So
Well,
that's
Awesome.
All right, Russ, you listening? Well, extrememusic.com is the best music library in the world, and they use a really great platform to search for it.
And it's super easy. That's the most important.
So anything's possible with extrememusic.com. So go check them out. They're the best in the business. I don't know where the business is going, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I am really optimistic that opportunity is going to get a lot bigger and better for students, for everyone in the industry. I mean, the fact that it's changing is not a negative thing. So I'm hoping that schools like LACHSA keep growing and keep bringing in more educators that are in the business and doing things, so that all those students can find new things to love about what is available to them. You know?
Yeah, no, thank you. And you know, as of course I'm going to love my school the most, but LA is popping out some other art schools now. So it's like this is something that it's growing, because people know you have to create. Speaking about being creative, you have a child that used to use an outlet, and that's what you were talking about earlier. You mentioned the creative outlet. Well, now, and I talked to my ninth graders about this. I say, you know, you need to. This has been your creative outlet, but I don't want it to stress. I don't want it to stress the kids out, because now they're being graded on it. They're almost as professionals. They're expected to produce work, and so I always try to talk to the families to say, you know, make time, you know, for a walk or to do something else. So you have an outlet, and still go home and improvise and do other things. But the day is a really long day, because some of our students commute. I mean, we have them from all over the county. So we have people, you know, with a 2-hour commute. Students, you know, come in on the train, because fortunately at Cal State LA, it drops you right there. And so we have students coming on the train, commuting, carpools, and so it's really a commitment. Some kids, you know, 2-hour commutes. So
it's remarkable. But also, you know, I think about being a kid, and I think, you know, when I used to play the piano when I was, you know, before I got into high school, I would play entire summers. I think I would play like 8 hours a day sometimes. Just that's all I would do. And I remember telling my son recently, I said, you know, to become really good at an instrument, you really do have to devote a lot of time to it. It's not going to just happen.
Yeah, but you loved playing.
I
That's
did
why you
lo-
played for
I-
8 hours.
well, I loved-
Well, you didn't want to get beat up by the Greens.
Yeah,
either,
yeah.
so.
The Greens used to come by and sing with me, but
Oh, so you were scared. Okay.
so I was a little nervous and scared. I'd see Gary Green walking down the street, and Charlie and Liz, and I'd be like, "Whoop! I'm gonna go back inside and play a little piano."
And then they would follow you.
My favorite part of that story is that I used to play and play and play, and these guys used to walk by because they used to go to the park and play basketball, beat people up, and then come back home.
For dinner.
So they would, but they would walk by my house and they'd hear me playing all day long, right? So eventually, it was a hot summer day, and I was playing Barry Manilow, which is what I usually played, and I was playing like, I don't know, I write the songs or something, and I'm playing it, and I feel like hot, like someone's watching me. So I turn around, and my door's open, and the gate's kind of closed, but it's Gary, Liz, and Charlie standing at the door. And these are people that I actively feared, right? Like I did not walk in their direction because I was like, I'm going to get my ass beat. So they're standing at the door, and I'm like, oh my God. So I stop playing. I get up. I walk over to the door. I'm like 13, 14. I walk over to the door, and I'm like, oh, hey, guys. And they're like, you playing Manilow? Yeah, I'm playing Barry Manilow. Like, can we come in? Sure, come on in. So I let them in. I'm like, this is it. I'm going to
Get jumped in your living room.
Jumped in my own
my
living
own
room.
house, my own my
So
safe space.
They come in, and they're like, do you play Mandy? I was like, it's in the book. I can play Mandy. They're like, play it. So I start
Shaky.
I'm a little shaky.
Sweat rolling down
Yeah,
your
I'm like,
forehead.
can I start again? Can I start again? And then I start to play, and lo and behold, man, these guys start to sing at the top of their lungs.
I love it.
At the top of their lungs. And then we ended up becoming best friends and hanging out. And
Because you could play man.
I would go, I ended up playing like 5 or 6 other songs that they sang at the top of their lungs. Like,
See, they needed a creative outlet.
Yes.
they really
and you
did.
gave it to them.
Yeah,
That's
and they were
wonderful.
very talented. But they were incredible. And it taught me a lot about, thinking that people are a certain way when they're really not, They were also incredible athletes, man. Oh, anyway, I could talk about them for a whole show. But yeah, I'm so glad you came on. I hope you come back. LACHSA.net.
Yes,
All right, well, check it out.
please do.
LACHSA. Thank you, Dr. Tina Vartanian, for
Doctor.
being
Thank
here.
you. I really enjoyed being
Thank
with
you,
you
doctors.
today.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Did you have any questions,
Thank you,
David?
understudies. No.
No. 'Cause You seem like you might. Do you want to go to the school? Because I could hook you up.
I would
I just
Please,
want to know
please
when
come
your
and
when your
visit.
class is going to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Robert, stay gold.
Yeah, stay gold. Oh my God, stay gold. All right, well, thanks for being with us. We'll talk to you next time on Film Hustlers.
Yay.
Thank you. That was fun.